Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's tariff threat against Brazil. Trump continues to Grandpa Simpson his way through international trade. And this time, he actually chose to tweet tariff promises to a country that imports more from the U.S. than it exports. For some totally unknown reason, Trump has decided to jeopardize $100 billion in trade to help a former leader of Brazil. In a lengthy, rambling letter he posted to social media, which I'll spare y'all from reading in full, he said in relevant parts that, quote, "This trial should not be taking place. It is a witch hunt that should end immediately. The trial is of the country's former leader, Bolsonaro, who's accused of plotting a coup." He also said Brazil was engaged in censoring U.S. entities and, quote, "continued attacks on the digital trade activities of American companies." Because of these reasons, he said that August 1st, he will impose a 50% tariff and indicated that it should be more to level the playing field. Brazil's response? Basically, they said bring it. In his own lengthy post to social media, the current president said in relevant part, quote, "Brazil is a sovereign nation with independent institutions and will not accept any form of tutelage." He then went on to say that the judicial branch was independent and not subject to interference. What a novel idea. He then added, quote, "Any measure to increase tariffs unilaterally will be responded to in light of Brazil's law of economic reciprocity." So, why is Brazil so willing to tell the U.S. to kick rocks? Because the U.S. has a trade surplus with them. Total goods traded between the two countries is $92 billion, according to Trump's U.S. trade representative. $49.7 billion of that is U.S. exports to Brazil. That means the U.S. exports more than $7 billion more to Brazil than it imports. The top exports to Brazil? Machinery, aircraft, and so on. In other words, things China would be happy to supply for less. What does the U.S. get from them? Oil, minerals, iron, steel, stuff we need. If Brazil does engage in actual reciprocal tariffs as promised, instead of what Trump called reciprocal tariffs, this will harm the U.S. more than Brazil, not just through paying more for Brazilian products, but also because the U.S. exports can easily be replaced. Trump's tariff plan just keeps making less and less sense economically. And this certainly seems primarily motivated by an attempt to interfere with the trial of a man accused of plotting a coup attempt. As more and more countries simply ignore Trump's threats, the U.S. loses economic power the world over. The uncertainty creeping into the market will take its toll eventually, even if Trump never imposes his tariffs and just promises them while eating galinhada. That's a Brazilian chicken dish. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.